biggest pet peeve is when I hear people say, oh, it's a small problem. I know some people will say, oh, I'd rather give it to a builder and forget about it. You cannot do that. Another day at site. Wahala. King David and his brother, they are hacking away at my soil. So far so good. Yeah, we have some problems with some pipes, so we have to fix those. My plumber Victor is going to take care of that. Victor, so are we going to take out the entire that one? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so he's going to join it. So pressure to no pressure. No, but that one is that pressure. This one is the pressure.
This one is no pressure.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So we are going to join a pressure pipe to a no pressure pipe.
Yes.
It won't cause any problems.
No.
There has been a couple of frustrating days doing work here, especially when you're time pressed. It's so tough, man. Let me take this opportunity to say, you know, well done to anyone who's on this journey like we are. It's not easy. It's not easy coming home on a short stint and having to do this work. I know some people will say, oh, I'd rather give it to a builder and forget about it. You cannot do that. You cannot give, you know, your building to a builder and forget about it, because there are things that you end up having to fix that will, you know, it's regardless of who you give the work to, supervision is important. And in my opinion, there is no one better to understand your vision for your project than you, which means you have to be the supervisor, right? There are things that are happening on my site that I'm not happy about, and you know, we can't continue making the same, you know, forgivenesses, right? When you know, like for me, one of the things that, you know, I need to get better at doing is not to let my heart lead always all the time. Well, my heart can lead, but not to the point where it becomes, you know, overbearing, to the extent that some people end up taking you for granted. I have a good heart. I try to be nice to everyone, because I have a feeling where anyone who touches this building project is supposed to be part of the fabric of the project all the way through, which means that as much as possible, I'd rather use fewer people, which means if I had it my way, I wouldn't change anyone. So I end up giving people grace and grace and grace and grace, but some people take it for granted. I keep saying there's no reason why we have to do work and then end up doing more work. You know, that should not be the case. And it is tough, but some decisions have to be made. I'm still working my way through. There's just too many disappointments on the project on this trip, and it almost feels like I had disappointments when the windows were here, and then I'm gonna have disappointments now, which almost seems like the people I'm working with are not taking me seriously, and that has to change, and that starts with me, right? I have to figure out a way to change that, where it's either I become my own supervisor full time, like people like Ojo like to do it. It might not make sense to you, but it's a way to save yourself the headache, right? If you're here and you make the mistake, or the mistake was made in your presence, you can compromise and you can forgive yourself. But some of these things are being done where it's almost like the ball is being kicked down the road for someone else to go and figure out. We can't keep building like that, right? Or we can't keep living like that, I should say. It's not just in the building process. It's like our humanity is kind of poor in that regard where, oh, I did my part. Oh, I don't care. It's not mine. I'm going to go and find another job, And then we take all these jobs that are eventually overburdening us and making it difficult for us to keep up, There's just so much to do. And the more I think about it, it's like, honestly, no one is forcing me to come and live in this house today. So why not take my time, right? I'm at the point where I'm at the finishing stages, and there is not enough forgiveness when it gets to this point, right? There's no forgiveness. Like the work that Maunyo is doing, Victor the plumber is doing, the work that Victor is doing now is work that he should not have been doing, right? The pipes got broken, so now we have to replace them. I don't know if it was from the pickaxe from when they were doing the work yesterday, or if it was from a previous grading attempt or whatever. But we are here. We have to fix it, and as annoying as it is, that's what we have to do. Now, my biggest pet peeve is when I hear people say, "Oh, it's a small problem." Small problem for who? Every problem on a building process compounds, right? And it might look small in your eyes, but it adds up. It eventually becomes a big problem. Like there's no reason why, the people who are working on my site know that I'll be here at a certain time, and I don't hide it from them. I don't surprise people. I let them know ahead of time. We're in communication. So if you work with me and how, I see things and how I expect things, why not surprise me and make sure that when I come, I don't have any grudges to, or any, nits to pick, right? It's annoying. Like, it gets to a point where you're talking to, other adults as if they are kids, and it shouldn't be like that. By the end of the day, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm paying good money for what we're doing, right? Even if it's not the most expensive labor, I'm paying money. It's not free, right? So if you're doing work for me that you've charged me for, I'm expecting something in return, right? And it's not a situation where, oh, you know what, I'm gonna, oh, it's a small problem, someone else come and fix it. It shouldn't be like that. How about you make your work so good that the next person coming doesn't need to worry about correcting before they continue? There's just so many things that, like I keep saying, man, like there's so much opportunity here, but customer service is poor. Customer service is poor. On Sunday, we go to a restaurant, right? We go to a restaurant. We're walking into the restaurant, and the lady, one of the ladies, or the waitresses, basically meets us in the doorway, walks past us, doesn't even say hello, doesn't ask for us to be seated. It's almost like they're doing you a favor, right? And then you sit down and you ask for food and everything that you want. It's like pretty much they don't have any, So you go to a place with an appetite saying, oh, I have a taste for this. Now you have to adjust. Why? Because people are not planning their business well or whatever. Everything is almost like, someone is doing you a favor. And for me, It gets annoying. But anyway, I'm gonna take a walk around, you know, the house, see what, you know, the landscaping that was done yesterday. You know, I told myself, you know, on this trip, at least we're gonna get some of these things done, and the idea is that from, you know, from the back, everything will slope. As you can see, it slopes from the top where the lemon tree is. It'll slope down, and then that place becomes one level, a cascading level, and then, you know, basically creates a waterfall if it has to be, like, so it doesn't really like slosh down too steep. Do the same thing here, do the same thing here, and then end up, you know, being another level onto the side. So that's what they've been working on. So far so good. You can see, you know, what they've done over here. Basically all they did was fill this with the debris that was here as a start, right? They just filled it with the debris that used to be here as a start, and eventually they're gonna pour more laterite to the extent where they want it, and where necessary pour black soil, because I think in this back over here, everything here is probably going to be more less greenery, especially around the house. Some more hardscape, but there'll still be some greens in here, because I don't want a lot of hardscape. It's kind of funny how this always felt tight, but once they clean it up a little bit, it looks more spacious, right? There's enough room here. I was worried about it, you know, but there's enough room here. Yeah. Some of these boulders I've talked about in several videos, but I'll say it again in case someone only watches this one. These boulders came from the foundation when we were digging. They're part of the terrain, so I decided to hold on to them and use them to, you know, decorate around the house. You know, a testament to, you know, the land that we're on, just basically paying, you know, homage to the land that we're on. There's this one here that is still in the ground. So the idea with this one is we're gonna cut all this waste concrete. We're gonna cut it off, but do the best we can to leave some of this, you know, protruding on whatever we do here. That way, it can be like, it'll show like, you know, the rock that came out of the whatever pavement or whatever we do here, tiles or something that we do here. Initially, the idea was to have where that row over there slope this way, but I think it makes sense for where this flask is to all be a slope towards where David, the guy in the red shirt, is. And then from here, we would have a slope that goes that way. That's another slope. This was one of the pipes that we noticed got broken. The reason why we even found it was because I complained about water going into this space. So the idea was we need to go down a little lower. We're going to go as low as we can, so that when it rains, it shouldn't go that way. And so they decided to take the slope from that side and come all the way over here. And then once we have that, then we'll take another slope this way. Yeah, so they're working. And you know, Victor the plumber is also there trying to fix the broken pipe. There's one on that side, and then there's one on this side. We just went and got the materials for it, so you can connect them. You know, one step at a time. All right, I'm probably gonna try and post this as an individual video. I don't know. I might edit it and put it as part of a day story. It's been a problem trying to post stuff because the internet is not great. Another problem I need to solve, especially if I'll be working from here, I need to have some kind of dedicated bandwidth that I can trust. You know, with technology advancing, hopefully by the next time I try to do this, it'll be an easy thing to do. So we'll see. So far so good. I have videos that I've not been able to upload because uploading to YouTube is taking forever. You know, I think today's Friday, and I'm still trying to post Monday's video, and it's not working yet. So sorry for starving you guys. Kojo Black, sorry for starving you. But you saw the problem you had when you came to Ghana. I have the same thing, but we'll make it work. All right, thanks for watching this. All right, bye-bye. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, you know, like, normally Fridays are a little light, but some meetings got shifted, so, you know, like, it wouldn't have affected my start time anyway. I could have probably flexed my end time, but as it is, my end time is going to be around 8 p.m., so I'm not going to, when I leave here, I'm not coming back today. And the likelihood that I will come here tomorrow is slim, because I would rather we leave early, and get to Cape Coast early, and then hopefully, so we're not traveling in the night, you know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this soakaway used to be over here, but then when they constructed the stairs to the top, they didn't calculate it well, so it ended up sitting on top of it. And I said, no, we're not going to do that. So what he's filling over here, he just removed the condensed pipe, so we rerouted it. Right, so this guy comes from the kitchen, routes into that soakaway, and this pipe goes from the guest toilet, and that's the one that Victor is working on right now. Right, that was one of them that also broke. Victor, that clean out, it won't be a problem where it is, because that's where the AC vents out. Won't be a problem? It won't? Are you sure? On your tape, Lasiwa. Tape measure, Lasiwa. How many inches in equal of me?
Go back again.
6. Okay.
6.
Also 6.
Yes.
6.
7.
7. Yeah, well, it's supposed to slope this way, right? Okay, that means that, yeah, so that's the slope, because it needs to be deeper.